Ever found out your teacher was secretly protecting you? Back in 8th grade, I used to skip lunch. Not for any dramatic reason. I just didn't like eating in the cafeteria. It was loud, chaotic, and I didn't fit anywhere. I wasn't bullied exactly, but I also wasn't welcome. People looked at my off-brand clothes, my quiet personality, and just decided I didn't exist. So every day, I'd grab a book from my backpack and sneak into the back corner of the library. It became my hiding place. A quiet pocket of safety where no one asked questions or stared at me like I didn't belong. One day, while I was reading To Kill a Mockingbird, the library door creaked open. I panicked. I thought maybe I'd get written up or sent to the principal's office. But it wasn't the librarian. It was Mr. Jacobs, the assistant principal. He was tall, serious-looking, and usually only spoke during assemblies. I froze. Expected him to ask why I wasn't in the cafeteria, but he just walked to the computer, sat down, and said nothing. The next day, same thing. I slipped into my usual seat, cracked open a fantasy novel, and a few minutes later, Mr. Jacobs came in again. This time, he had a sandwich and a can of soda. He sat down 2 tables away, facing the wall, and started typing. It became routine. Day after day, I'd sit in the corner, quietly reading. He'd come in, check some emails or grade forms, and eat lunch. He never asked why I was there, never told me to go back, never made it awkward, and somehow, that silence meant more than anything anyone had ever said to me at school. He knew I needed space. Then one Friday in spring, I didn't show up. That morning had been especially rough. Some kids in gym class mocked my shoes, saying they looked like something from a thrift store fire sale. I skipped lunch entirely, hid in the locker room, cried into my jacket sleeve, and hoped no one noticed. That afternoon, while I was at my locker, Mr. Jacobs walked by. He stopped, looked at me, and said, "You all right?" I shrugged. "Just wasn't hungry today." He nodded slowly. "Okay, but your seat's still there, just so you know." I thought that was the end of it. But the next week, something strange started happening. The teasing, it stopped. The same kids who laughed at me before started keeping their distance. One even mumbled an awkward apology in the hallway. Another held the door open for me without making a joke out of it. I didn't get why. Until about a month later, I was returning a book to the library when I overheard Mr. Jacobs talking to a teacher near the back office. They didn't see me. "She's been having a rough time," he said. "I'm not gonna drag her into meetings about it. Sometimes kids just need one place where they feel safe. If that's the library, let it be." That hit me like a brick. He knew. He knew I wasn't just reading for fun. He knew about the gym class, the cafeteria, the silence I wore like armor. And instead of forcing me into awkward talks or embarrassing check-ins, he chose to protect me quietly, silently. I never forgot that. On the last day of school, I left a note on his desk. No name, no details, just 4 words. "Thanks for seeing me." He never mentioned it. But years later, I returned to the school as a guest speaker during college. When I visited the office, I saw something that stopped me cold. Pinned to a bulletin board behind his desk, yellowed with age, folded at the corners, was my note, still there. And that's when I realized something I carry with me to this day. Sometimes the people who say the least protect you the most. What stuck with me wasn't just that he remembered. It was that he didn't need credit. He didn't need to be the hero. He just made space where no one else would. In a school full of noise, popularity contests, and cafeteria politics, he chose to be a quiet guardrail for the ones slipping through cracks. I didn't need a speech. I just needed someone to notice. And he did. That note may have just been 4 words, but I meant every single one. And somehow, I think he did too.